Hello, everyone. I want to make a sermon video. And like I've said before, this is not an original idea. Few that I have are. If you'd really evaluate yourself, few that you have are too. We got it. I got it from somewhere. Their thought. I'm not saying the whole video sermon, but I got a thought about what to talk on or whatever. Anyway, from somebody else, and either it's either your mama, your daddy, your first grade teacher, somebody along the way. But I want to share this with you, and I think it's important. And I'm going to be in uh, first. I'm going to be in Colossians 3:23 in the King James version of the Bible, and it says, "And whatsoever you do, do it heartily as unto the Lord, and not unto men." Um, how many of you know that if you had your life to live over, that you could do better than what you did the first time? Well, newsflash, you don't get to do it over. So we got to do it right the first time. I want to put everything in uh, this first go round, this only go around. Ecclesiastes 9:10 says, "Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might, for there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest." And the cemetery is the richest place in the world. It's richer than Fort Knox. It's richer than the gold mines, the diamond mines. It's richer than anywhere. There's in the cemetery. There's talents that's never been used. There's songs that's never been sung. Love that's never been expressed. Apologies never been made. So don't take your song to the grave. Don't take your sermon to the grave. Don't take your testimony to the grave. Use it now while you're here. Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things." 100% is what we're talking about. If I had a washcloth and it was full of water and I started wringing it, uh, as long as I could get a drop out, I haven't got all of it out. Uh, I just wonder how different would your life be if you lived encouraged 100% of the time. We have an expression at our church, and I read to them about the woman coming in to Jesus and having an alabaster box of ointment, very precious, and she broke the box and anointed him. And if she wanted to, if she had opened the box and she could have closed it, but she broke it, uh, meaning to me that she was going to use every bit of it and not holding back nothing. I was preaching at Meridianville, and I heard a voice. It was Brother Tim Edwards, very good brother at our church, and he was saying, "Break the box, Brother Dale." When I preach, I'm not wanting to save part of it for another time. And today, doing this sermon, I'm going to try to give you everything that the Lord will give me. I'm not going to save it back and say, "Well, you're going to want to make another video sermon someday, maybe pretty soon." No, I'm going to give you everything that God wants me to if I can. How different would your thought life be? How different would your prayer life be? How different would your emotions, relationships, and perspectives be? Godly courage. Uh, I remember the Wizard of Oz, and there was a lion and a scarecrow and a Tin Man, and the lion said he wanted courage, I think, or something like that. A godly courage and strength can take you where training and preparation cannot. If you've got the training and preparation, but you don't have the courage to use it, then it's going to be undone. Courage don't care what your track record is. It don't care how many mistakes you made. If you can dust yourself off, I heard that if you fall 7 times, get up 7 times. Uh, Courage is what we have to respond to the disappointment and failures in this life. Courage teaches you that failure is not fatal and it's not final. I mean, unless you're jumping out of an airplane and you fail to pay attention to how you parachute was wrapped. You don't see people dying from failure, except that skydiving example I just gave you. Life is not failure. Other than the skydiving and a few more things, other than that, you're good. Courage is sometimes a forgotten component when it comes to finishing. In fact, many times we feel overwhelmed. It's not that we've taken on too much, it's this we've taken on too little of what really strengthens us. You need to overdose yourself on courage every day. I told you that for myself, every day I get busy. I try to get on a track. I try to get me I try to get me a quote. I love stories. I try to get me a story and a scripture, and I try to keep on track the rest of the day. You know, God made some amazing promises to us, and just as He did Joshua, but you got to have courage and strength. He told Joshua, He told them, said, "Be strong and courageous." Let's see, let me back up. And Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him, in the sight of all of Israel, "Be strong and of good courage, for thou must go with this people into the land which the Lord hath sworn unto their fathers to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it. And the Lord, He it is that doth go before you. He will be with you. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed." How can we be so courageous? Because we are chosen. We're not some random person walking around on the streets. God's got His hand on us. He's chose us for such a time as this. And He hadn't changed His mind about you if He chose you, unless you've done something that you can't come back from. Be done with limping through life, going through life with regret, because He hadn't changed His mind about you. We need to stop the excuses. And it's time to replace excuses with plans and strategies about what we're going to do. You have to quit living your life like you've missed your window of opportunity and recognize that He can bring those moments back around. We are anointed and appointed to share in His abundant mercy. You need to take comfort in this. Mistakes, failures, setbacks, they don't change the destiny God's placed on your life. When you commit to a life of finishing, you can begin to recognize that God can turn your weaker moments into mighty comebacks just because you're chosen. And you know, you can't stop chosen. I mean, you can hinder chosen. Brother David Jones said you could put your foot on a man, and if God's got His hand on him, He'll pop up over here. You go over there and put your foot on him over there, He'll pop up over him. You can't stop chosen. You might slow it down, you might hinder it, but you can't argue with chosen. You can't outlast chosen. That's why Jesus said, "You didn't choose me, but I chose you. I appointed you to go through and produce lasting fruit, so that the Father will give you whatsoever you ask for using my name." In other words, just tell God that I sent you. Doubt, fear, and failure may try to make a case against you, but you are chosen. We have to take responsibility for our lives. I want to call the greatness out of you and remind you that God is not in love with a future version of yourself. He's in love with who you are right now. Distractions. Distractions suffocate promises. They always leave you feeling underdeveloped and use your fears to drive your life and make decisions for you. Distractions cause a directionless lifestyle, leading you on a journey to nowhere, living for temporary pleasures that will always dry up faster than they came. I remember a song by the Beatles. I guess I refer to songs by them because that was the most popular group of my day, but it's talked about a nowhere man making his nowhere plans. You need to have a place you're going to. You need to know what your it is, and you need to get about it. Distractions are paralyzing. When you are distracted, you limp through life with frustration of not producing what you were meant to do. It's a tragedy being powerful and not knowing it, but it's devastating being purposed but driven by distractions. Finishers fight off distractions. We notice the impossibilities, the odds, and the distractions, but we refuse to focus on them. The Israelites focused too much on giants, the number of people, the size of their walls. Eventually, the distractions were all they focused, and it caused them to doubt that this could be their God ordained next step. But 40 years later, there was a new generation with two men leading them in the same land God promised them 40 years earlier. One of these men's name was Caleb, and the other one's name was Joshua. Stay focused on God's promises. Face the doubts and fears that cause you to hesitate. No longer should you suffocate under distractions because a different spirit, a different hope is inside you, and you decided to follow Him wholeheartedly. You know, Moses and the children of Israel went around the same mountain for 40 years. Should have took them just a few days. Are you going around the same mountain like a dog chasing its tail? Are you still with the issues that you were with 5 years ago? Are you still trying to butt your head against the same wall that you were butting your head against? Are you and your wife still arguing about the same things you were a year or 2 or 5 years ago? You ought to come further. Quit going around that mountain. You know, children of alcoholics a lot of times become alcoholics. The reason, one says, the reason I'm alcoholic, my daddy was. And another one says, the reason I'm not an alcoholic is because my daddy was. He stopped going around that same mountain. So I've enjoyed getting this to you today. I want you to be 100% in. I remember I lost some weight. My mother was still living, and she was encouraging me to lose weight. I'm back up again, of course. But she said, I just want to see what you look like under there. You know, because you get so fat your ears get, they get hidden. And she said that she just wanted to see what I look like underneath all of that. Well, that's what I'm saying to you. I want to see what you would look like if you took all of that away, all those loads and distractions. And if you put 100% in, how awesome you would be. I've come here to encourage you today. I love you. I love you and I care about you. And I'm going to give you my phone number, 256-508-4410. If you need me, I'm here for you. I might not get right back to you, but I'll try to get back to you. And if you would, when you call or text, leave me a little idea about what you might need. So may God bless you is my prayer.